Hello and good evening, Next Gen. Thank you for tuning in to our devotional. I'm hopeful that throughout this week you have found something that you've enjoyed, that it's set root, and that it will eventually bear good fruit as we've considered what was once lost but is now found. I know that the parable of the lost sheep, it's one that we hear quite often, but I hope this has kind of shined on the importance of who those lost sheep are and why we are to go out and seek after the ones that are truly lost, the ones that have never had a home. So today, as we finish up this week, we're going to go over Romans 5, chapter 5, verse 8, and then Luke chapter 15, verse 6, and we'll finish up this week there. So Romans 5 and 8 simply says, "But God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. I want you to think about that tonight as we go through this lesson in this devotional. So I want you to think, what do a soldier, a burglar, a fisherman, a mother, and a father have in common? I'll give you a moment. Think about it. What do those things have in common? They were all present at Jesus' cross. The mother was his mother, Mary. The fisherman was one of Jesus' sometimes faithful but often faithless followers, John. The father was Simon, whose little guys, Rufus and Alex, he had brought them there to Jerusalem for the holiday. And a lot of people in our world would call these people good. And yes, Jesus died for them. But don't forget about the soldier who crucified him, and the burglar who was crucified beside of him. They were both there, and Jesus died for both of them too. When you look around the world and you see evil people committing evil acts, even to go as far as some of the war and atrocities that we are seeing, it's hard to understand, and it's hard to believe. But before you judge them as too far gone, just remember that Jesus died for all of us. When we were evil people committing evil acts, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. So the same as he died for me, my grandmother, my family, is the same as he died for us. He died for the murderer, the drug addict, the fornicator, the prostitute, the what we would consider the lowest of the low. Christ died for each and every one of them. And it's so important that we don't just cast people aside because of what they look like, what they smell like, what they act like, because maybe that's the way that they are, because they've never been brought to the knowledge of Jesus. Maybe they've never been given a chance. So it's so important, especially as the days get worse and worse. Evil gets more and more evil, and I don't even know how it's possible for that to happen in some cases. But even in those situations, we have to try to find the best and try to love through every bit of the mess, the criticism, the frustration. And we have to reach and seek after those that are lost, the ones that need to be found. So as we go into Luke 15, chapter 15, verse 6, if you want to go ahead and turn there, we'll go ahead and finish up here. And it says simply, "And when he cometh home, he calleth together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost." Smiling, laughing the whole way home. Just imagine this shepherd. He could not wait to share the good news. He threw the sheep on his shoulder and just took off just as quick as he possibly could. He called his friends and neighbors together to share with them this story of the sheep that it was once lost, but it's been found. The excitement that the shepherd has. And when lost people are found, Jesus calls us to rejoice. We are to rejoice with him. How will they know that the step they just made is life-changing if we're not there to tell them, if we don't let them know, hey, this is the great first step, but ultimately there's more. You can live this life. You can be better than you ever imagined, better than you thought to yourself that you could be. How will they know where to go next if we don't disciple them? How will they know, now that they know that they're found and free from bondage of sin, how will they know the next steps if we don't disciple? How will they stay on the same path unless we show them, unless we guide them? This is why it's so important that we don't just connect on a once a week basis, but throughout the week we're connecting with one another and loving one another and caring for one another. It's so important. How will they stay on that same path? So we all play a part in the lives of the lost. We do. I've said this time and time again, but you're going to be able to reach people that I could never reach. You're going to be able to do Bible studies with people that I probably wouldn't be able to convince them to let me talk to them. We all are called to be who we're called to be. Nobody's called to be somebody else. Your calling is special, and it's important. And our actions will show them how to walk with Jesus, just as we walk with Jesus. The way we present ourselves, the way we live our life, people are looking to you. Each and every one of you watching this video, young and old, you're a role model. And there is somebody that is looking up to you, whether it be your children, your brother, a schoolmate, your grandchild, whoever it may be. There are people looking to you for guidance, and you have to be the best you that you can possibly be for that person, because they are watching you. I've made mistakes time and time again in front of people that I honestly regret. I'm thankful that God's brought me out of a lot of the situations that I've put myself in. And just like I was speaking to someone the other day, it took me realizing the mess that I had made. There was no convincing that anyone can do. My uncle and aunt, they tried to convince me. They tried to tell me that I could be better, I could do more. And as much as they loved me and as much as they prayed for me, it wasn't until I was by myself that I truly understood what I was missing out on. And I'm thankful that God delivered me from all my messes and brought me back safely. But had I not known what God had to offer, I wouldn't have known to look for something better. So it's important that we go after these ones that they don't know that there's any better. They don't know that there's a home away from home. They don't know that there's a safe place that they can come and rest, where they can lay their worries down on the altar. So each one of us, it's our job to tell our testimony, to spread the good news, and to reach as many people as we possibly can, because our days get shorter and shorter. We're closer to the coming of Jesus than we have ever been. So as this week devotional comes to an end, I want you to really consider find a quiet place, find your prayer closet, wherever it may be, and take some time to just sit and talk to God and let him talk to you in return. Journal about the things that you felt, the things that he spoke to you. Take a few minutes to just sit and pray and thank God for who He is and ask Him to speak to you. Ask Him to make you better. Sorry, my dog is barking. I think Carly's getting back with the groceries. But I love you. I hope that this devotional has blessed you. I hope you've taken something away from it. And if nothing else, seek after those who are lost, because they may be lost, but they can have a chance of being found. I love you. Jesus loves you. Tomorrow is our fall festival at Lighthouse Christian School. Come out, support the school. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. We'll have barbecue that I know Joe Tedder is working tirelessly on today. It looks awesome. He sent me some pictures. So come have some good food, some fellowship, play some games, and more importantly, invest in our next generation. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.